Let's be honest for a second. Have you ever noticed that life today just feels tougher on your brain? I'm not just talking about having a bad day. I'm talking about that low-level hum of anxiety. The feeling that the noise is louder, the demands are higher, and the world is spinning just a little faster than you can keep up with. Many of us are walking around feeling the cost of this. We feel overwhelmed. We feel scattered. We feel like something is off, even when on the surface, everything looks fine. If that resonates with you, you are not alone. And more importantly, it's not all in your head. In his groundbreaking book, Healing the Modern Brain, Dr. Drew Ramsey argues that modern life isn't just challenging your brain, it is literally changing it. But here is the good news, and it's the reason we read here today. Your brain is not just a victim of these changes. You have real biological power to rebuild and renew it. Dr. Ramsey offers us a roadmap. It's a concept he calls mental fitness. Today we are going to do a deep dive into his work. We're going to look at why the modern world is a threat to your cognitive health, the framework for building a resilient brain, and most importantly, the practical steps you can start right now to go from surviving to thriving. To fix the problem, we first have to understand the pressure we are under. Dr. Ramsey begins by describing the unique burden placed on the modern brain. Biologically, our brains haven't changed much in thousands of years, but our environment, it has changed drastically. We are living longer. We are spending massive amounts of time online. We insulate ourselves indoors. We deal with chronic, low-grade stress traffic, emails, the news cycle. And then there is the physical side. We eat processed foods that didn't exist a century ago, our sleep is disrupted by blue light, and we take fewer breaks in nature. All these factors influence how our brain functions. Now, this is where Dr. Ramsey makes a critical distinction. For decades, we have treated mental health largely as a chemical issue. You've heard the phrase, it's a chemical imbalance. The idea was simple. If we just adjust the serotonin or the neurotransmitters, the brain will be fine. But the latest research suggests that idea is far too simplistic. It turns out the brain doesn't float in a jar. It is connected to everything else. Your brain health depends on broader systems, your metabolism, your inflammation levels, and your gut health. This is the gut-brain connection. When your gut is inflamed by modern processed food, your brain suffers. When your body is sedentary, your brain suffers. So, the modern brain isn't just fighting internal negative thoughts. It is fighting a hostile environment. And to heal, we need to stop treating the symptoms and start treating the ecosystem. This brings us to the core concept of the book, mental fitness. We all know what physical fitness looks like. You go to the gym to keep your muscles strong, your heart healthy, and your endurance up. You don't wait until you have a heart attack to start jogging, right? Dr. Ramsey asks, why don't we treat our brains the same way? Mental fitness is defined as a collection of knowledge, habits, and skills that keep your brain resilient. It's about being able to thrive, not just survive. The idea is that if you strengthen the pillars of your health, your brain becomes well-wired for modern life. It's about neuroplasticity, the ability of the brain to change and adapt. When you practice mental fitness, you aren't just feeling better. You are physically altering the structure of your brain to be stronger, calmer, and sharper. So, what are these pillars? Let's break them down. The first pillar is nutrition. Dr. Ramsey is a pioneer in a field called nutritional psychiatry. This is a fascinating area of science. It moves beyond counting calories to looking at nutrients that actually feed your brain cells. Your brain is an energy hog. It consumes about 20% of your daily energy. If you feed it cheap fuel, processed sugar, refined carbs, you get inflammation. And inflammation in the brain is often linked to depression and anxiety. Dr. Ramsey suggests focusing on nutrient density, foods that support neurotransmitters. We're talking about things that protect the brain's lining and reduce that inflammation. Next, we have movement and environment. We often think exercise is for our waistline, but it is arguably the most potent medication for our brains. Movement releases growth factors, like fertilizer for your brain cells, that help you repair and reset. But it's also about where you are. Dr. Ramsey emphasizes that urban living and sedentary habits weaken the brain. We need to ground ourselves. Even simple exposure to nature-seeing trees, breathing fresh air lowers cortisol levels almost instantly. The third pillar is sleep and recovery. In our hustle culture, we treat sleep like a weakness. But the brain isn't just off when you sleep. It is working hard. It is repairing cells. It is consolidating memories. It is detoxing waste products that build up during the day. Neglecting sleep undermines every other attempt at mental fitness. You cannot outdiet or outthink a sleep-deprived brain. The fourth pillar is connection. This is huge. Loneliness is toxic to the brain. Humans are wired for tribe. Lack of meaning and disconnectedness physically hurt our cognitive health. On the flip side, belonging, social support, and having a purpose are protective. They fuel brain health just as much as vitamins do. And finally, mindset. Your brain changes based on what you think. This is the loop of belief. If you cultivate a growth mindset, the belief that you can learn and change, you literally rewire your brain to become stronger. Okay, that's the theory. But knowledge without action is just trivia. How do we turn this into real life? Dr. Ramsey emphasizes that you don't have to change everything overnight. Let's look at some listener-friendly steps you can start today. First, let's look at your brain diet. I want you to try just one thing this week. Add 1 extra serving of nutrient-rich food. Don't worry about cutting things out yet. Just add the good stuff. Maybe it's fatty fish like salmon, a handful of walnuts, or a side of leafy greens. Think of it as armor for your brain cells. Second, move your body preferably outside. Can you take a 20-minute walk? Just 20 minutes. But here is the trick. Do it without your phone. Notice the trees. Notice the air. This double dose of movement and nature is a powerful reset button. Third, prioritize the power down. Modern screens emit blue light that confuses our sleep hormones. Try a power down routine. No screens for 30 minutes before bed. Dim the lights. Read a book. Give your brain a signal that the workday is over. Fourth, connection. Reach out to someone you care about. And I don't mean a text message. Call them. See them face to face if you can. Ask yourself, when was the last time I did something meaningful with someone, not just for someone? And finally, check your environment. Look around the room you are in right now. Is there a stress trigger? Maybe a pile of clutter or constant loud news? Try to reduce one stress trigger and add one brain-friendly trigger, like opening a window or adding a plant. These aren't huge, life-altering commitments. They are micro-habits. But Dr. Ramsey promises that small changes, when repeated, lead to massive brain shifts. I know what some of you might be thinking. I don't have time for this, or I've tried before and nothing changed. Dr. Ramsey addresses this directly. He reminds us that the more chaotic your life is, the more your brain needs these stabilizers. If you don't have time for a 20-minute walk, you probably need a 60-minute walk. This isn't magic. You won't go from 0 to perfect overnight, but the payoff is real. Imagine feeling more stable, less tossed around by stress. Imagine having clarity and focus, so your brain works for you rather than against you. Imagine building resilience, so that when life gets hard, and it will get hard, you don't break. You bounce back. So, here's my invitation to you and to your brain. Look at your week ahead. Choose just one pillar we talked about today. Maybe it's food. Maybe it's rest. Pick one small action. And just notice how you feel afterward. Your brain is not a fragile victim of the modern world. It is a resilient, incredible organ designed for change. It is well equipped to heal if we just give it what it needs. Building mental fitness isn't optional anymore, it's essential. And the best part, it's available to you right now. Thank you for joining me in this exploration of healing the modern brain. May your next bite of food, your next walk, and your next moment of rest become not just good, but healing. If this hits home, smash that like button and subscribe for more.